The Great Northern Arts Festival offers the public and the artist a wonderful opportunity.
This festival has a wonderful spirit, a wonderful life, and people, when they're here, they're just smiling and full of energy, and it has to do with the artists and the warmth of the people in the north.
The Art Fest is when people get together, they exchange ideas and they go to the seminars.
Sanauya tit ingelanin sanauya liok pagtot. Sanauyanget takok tisivagait sanauya liorvid niuvervenun. Ublok TAMAPTA kun takunyariksi. Akana uvanga Beverly Amos. Ublok takun naliaptingnik takun nang niaktusi Great Northern Arts Festival katimamata inuving mi awiyak. Katit kaktot July ngorman 1989 mi.
It was in the IRC building, the Inuvi Alouette Regional Corporation building on Main Street. And at that time, there was no stores or businesses on the main floor. So we had the whole main floor.
From the IDC building, it moved to the old family hall, which is V&S Options now. Then after that, moved to the SAM school there for a few years. Then that got too small, then we moved up here. Then it has more room. It accommodates us better because we can use the upstairs conference room for seminars and that for the artists there.
So katit kakpigit sanauya liok tit inuving mi.
Well, in 1988, I was working at a gallery here in Inuvik, and Sue was a customer of mine, and she used to come in a lot. We talked about some possible exhibits that we could have, and she suggested having an exhibit for 3 home and printmakers. So we had an exhibition for them, and we couldn't afford to bring the 3 of them to the exhibit, but one of them just so happened to be in town, and we started talking about the fact that a lot of northern artists have their work exhibited in lots of places and don't always get to attend the exhibits. And also that artists in the north quite often work in isolation. There may be only 2 artists in their community. So they don't get exposed to other artists, and they don't have the opportunity to take art workshops and so on. So at the time we decided, after we had this initial exhibit, we decided that in the next year we would have an exhibition for 7 or 8 artists in the Beaufort Delta region. And we went to at the time it was Economic Development, and it's now RWED. We went to RWED to request funding to help us with this regional exhibit. And the only pot of money they had at the time was I'm not sure if I remember the name of it, but it was a territorial federal agreement. And if we accessed that funding, we had to ensure that there was representation from across the Northwest Territories. And at that time, none of it was still part of the Northwest Territories. We very quickly pulled together the very first festival, and we had 30 artists, and we invited artists from right across the north. And at some point the word festival came up, and once the word came up, all the ideas started to flow, and we...
Nakin piviyong ating Great Northern Arts Festival.
I think we were just kind of throwing some ideas around, and we knew that we wanted northern in there so that the visitors and tourists would understand that it's in the north. And we were just kind of kidding and said, well, we know it's going to be great, so we called it the Great Northern Arts Festival. I would say it's between Bill Nasagalawak and Joe Nasagalawak. I know that they both came in. I was working at a gallery here in Inuvik, and they heard that we were talking about this festival, and they came in to the gallery and asked if they could be a part of it. And at that time, I would say that they were emerging artists, beginner artists. They both had been carving for quite a while, but they both were working on very small works. Bill had just started painting, and yeah, they came in and said, can we be a part of it? And we were thrilled. So.
The
Great Northern Arts Festival offers the public and the artist a wonderful opportunity. We gather about up to 120 visual and performing artists together for 10 days, and it offers the public a chance to see them all in one location. which is a very rare opportunity because with all the artists live in remote communities, and just that chance just doesn't exist.
It gives the public an opportunity to be a part of the creative process and to learn how different art is made. And once people know more about artwork and the process behind it, then they are more excited about buying it. And also, it's really nice to be able to meet the artist that creates the work. So for the public, it's education, and it's given them a greater appreciation of Northern art.
Also, for the artist, it offers them a chance to work with other artists from other communities, learn new techniques, and collaborate on artistic projects, and basically just a wonderful chance to learn and have their work exhibited in a professional gallery setting for the public to see. That's again another unique opportunity for them in that they don't get to see how the public in the South reacts to their work or how it's displayed. So we try and provide that here so they know what that experience is all about.
To me, the Art Fest is when people get together, they exchange ideas and they go to the seminars on how they can get funding from different sources for their tools, which is good for the artists to go through the seminars there. And for me, myself, it's just like a big family reunion. And being the host, we have to do the setup. And then they come here and they decorate the whole walls and the pedestals and everything with all the fine work that they do. So every year our families seem to get bigger and bigger and bigger. We add new people to the family just like.
It's an opportunity to fuel their creative energy. Once again, the artists in the North work, in isolation compared to artists in the South. They live in small communities, and there may be only a few other artists there. And there's sort of trends in communities, like a lot of the women in Holman do printmaking in a certain style, like stencil printmaking. So when they come here, they get to learn a new type of printmaking, whether it be etching or lino cut. To talk about artists in this region, in the Western Arctic, when we started the festival, there were very few people doing artwork, and now the arts have really grown in the Western Arctic, and the artists have become recognized nationally, internationally for their work. And have to work over a long winter, it gives them lots of ideas and creativity.
Ukalautinyaini mikorniak karami neverk saraungarmi. Takunyari butauk mikortanik 2004 sanauya liuktit kati TAMAPTA inuving me. Kovianak tusi takun napsar migapsi, sanauya liuktit katimavianginnik uvani inuving me. Edith hawak kulerne raini, edit kautanik mikornermik. Sanauya liuktit sumint kai vakpakpat, suli kanusinik sanauya liuktuanginnik sanavakpat.
We have a wide range of emerging artists, as well as artists that are in their mid-career, and some masters as well. We have artists from Nunavut, the Yukon, and of course the Northwest Territories, and they work in various mediums, soapstone, other stones, painting, fiber arts. We have some fashion, and we have a lot of traditional arts as well.
O kakadigi idis haugak ikahung mutak, katit karmata ilauyok.
Nutagablunga mekoyang niyak kirama mamaga tubiyakugo kanukhabanganik ajit kutanig lihaba kautlunga ahit imasiliwit tokalwami makuning agla tuktuning mekokpak tokalwami natsang niglo ingilgat atiginik tuktuning kaming nik kaming tuktuniungin aglat kiyaling ugyung waterproof kaming natsang atungaling aglat imasining mekuyuit tokalwami imasining mekomalang migama tuwa katiga inutil luhuli mekokpalak tunga ana hungaw yaling niglo makuningan makuyuit tokalwami aglat makwat mekwakilaktat kahungaw yallo imasiniglo kupalit abanitun mekwat ka uming mangwaniglo at magkuninga stapek mayuning tamagkuninga huniglakang mekoktuk nga kangma ana hun ilokaita mekoklugit ana huliakalakslugit atikluit tuktut atigit ana huldakagtam mekulayat kakangma ay mayakangama ana inahapang nalaning mekukangama na ikayok te kawabulunga ihumabagtunga ken nga hungalunin ikayok te kawabulunga tay masin mekoklugutan na meko ichuhiatut ihumagiyama inakluga sitay na mekokpagtuami ihumaga atwa taklugo huliyakangama atwa taklugo ihumaga habagpagtok na mekokangama ten na inugoklunga na iyo mag-atok ka naghumikap habayuit yung ayaw maliyok ka nga kang mga aglat at iklong niglo kupang naktalba hapeng nang nakaw yung at iklong kupang nang imatiniglo anat trang nang talba hungaw yaling niglo apunatut iliktang mekong atungaling nik talba hapang nang nakaw talba hibulak pang makaigama hamaniya sa kustatang mata at pista pulubunga ana hibulak pang makaibayunga talba kanok piniak tilakan naluglugo hunaliok pang mga ngita naluglugit talba nakayutingwangin nang ni uming mangnik natsingwanik ukpingwanik ay katinik talba kaming nik ayong night to nakakajiblunga talba statak himayunga naluglugin imasiliok pagtut talba mani ana awlak ning matahibul lang ikayok tigi magkakahuli mani malrug ang naghabagtuk huli na aperid lablu kanok piniak tilamnik ana nalublunga kanok pibang mga ngita huli mani malrug huli ang naghabagtuk kangma iya inna ukiung ni malrung ni ilihaw tigalwakat ka ana awlang nigin naklu tigilangit ang nibiyak sikat na inna lumekong ng mik hungaw yaniglo kanolakang mekong ng mik ilangit ililakhin na kutik talba magkwat habag titsak sa pami at magkwat manikak tuktun at habag tit talba inna kutik manikak tungagok maningmigo kahit tilayt kan nga na kanokahit kanokhaw heklunga at TAMAPTA daimangit kalwaktunga kanokhaw heklunga stapek tunga anakanay guma ana ako pilungan yok kakalunga ako pilunga yakay kakalunga ana ukwa ungit tuning itay kani ay mabimni mekong niyang miyunga mau ukwa ngungit tuning ukwa uwanin nang mekoktat ka kano kayo ito ana ichuyan awla ito tayo na awlak taka nga maimay tunig ay nga makanok kano ito ina ichuyan awla ito Haba kakalwakto nga magkwad astap at pistapul hibuani na apuan ngublungat siya ngublunga was natin na aknani at kaktay is natin pagtutinin tatap kunani aw laktak pagtunga tabo nga ungay tumot kuspi ana tabo na kunga atuwamin Matria Halifax na sinsa tabo nakalugaw labak lunga yakab lunga tayo makimayong ista nating nulo.
Utirupta takun nang niaktuani 2004 Great Northern Arts Festival TAMAPTA uvani inuving mi. Ukakatigin niyariwut Freddie Trumbull inuvelu York sa nauyaliukti. Inugiaktoat ilisimayat sa nangit alianay mata. Nuna alianay blugo itkarivagat sa nauyaliw ramik. Uvani nunapting ni ilisimayangit takuyangit lu nunami malikpagat sa nagamik. Uvaptak takun naglugit sa nauyaliangit tajvani 2004 ukyungani TAMAPTA inuving mi.
Makuning nga uming mangwaliw ko nga abanita ko bagay. Tuktuniglo, I mean, uming mangwaniglo, tuktuniglo, niyong hindi kaming ni, tuktuniglo, aming hindi atigiliok nga, hunigli kang mekukpag ito nga anything. Matun ito galuan na, una ko liyaw, taka ingil ka tamani, madahapat pa kinik, ingil ka, madahapat pa kinik, Pekangitut amaw tinikisiyaning ano kakaktot ala ngayon na kang matungit to ay ngilhan.
Doing a show like the festival gives me a chance to play a lot more in the pieces that I do. I've gotten the most recognition for my muskox. Doing that, everybody's looking for a muskox, where a show like this where I just can do what I want. I do a piece like the hunter and kayak or just trying the canoes for the first time, just to see what reaction people give it. The biggest challenge now is making new contacts. And the carving business itself is always up and down. There's, stuff that's not even around me. I deal with a gallery in New York, and when 9/11 happened, carvings to New York just dropped right off to nothing. And it's only been in the 2.5 years before they've started ordering muskoxes and other pieces of mine again. So something like that halfway around the world affects me. I deal with a bunch of galleries in Ontario, and with that SARS business last year, dropped right off again. So the carving is always up and down.
I like making people, drum dancers, hunters. This one was shaped something like this, so I made it into a drum dancer. There's not really a challenge. It's, you know, I've been doing this since 1991. But when I first started, I used to have a hard time. And I got kind of mad because I couldn't learn it, but I learned by watching it. Always watch. And after that, I just told myself I'm going to learn it. That's who I am now.
I got art experience from my mom and myself. I spinning muskox wool, and I saw some muskox, and I make cut out some moose hide for beading, and I make horns. I do all that stuff when I'm here.
Katimat karmata ublumo naglan aglip sakpa asu ilori badjung katimavingit.
It's in its 16th year, and it gets better every year, and I'm very proud of the festival, and I'm thrilled that it has stuck to, it continues to fulfill its original mandate, and that is to foster the growth of artists in the North, and I think it does a great job of that.
Inuveluitlu allatlu inuit katit pagtot awyang ngorman inuving mun. Suminle kanu namin kaiblutik, ikayirik lutik ilisariak lutiklu. Inuek tonik sanawya lianginik takuyoni, ukakatigib lugitlu sanawya liuktot, angalachiyingitlu, ilaumayot 2004 Great Northern Arts Festival Katimavianun. Takurupsi awyat kigo kuvianang niagalwaktuak, Great Northern Arts Festival Katit Kikpata 2005 ngokpan. Inuving me. Atara Beverly Amos tamaptamik takunaktusi.
I'd like to thank the artists, because without the artists, this festival has a wonderful spirit, a wonderful life, and people, when they're here, they're just smiling and full of energy, and it has to do with the artists and the warmth of the people in the North, and the willingness to share. It's a very northern festival. It's a great Northern Arts Festival.